We were right. Well, we were right. I love being right.
I mean, it's the only way. Everyone who thinks you're not right, they just don't know.
It's true. It's true. Which is why more people need to listen to the show, because we spit straight
For
facts.
real.
I look like a disco ball.
That's how this dress makes me feel.
But like in the best way.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Lydia.
And I'm Sonikka.
And welcome to Pop Rocks and Tea, a podcast about all things pop culture.
And all the tea that comes with it. Today we are channeling our inner showgirls. I'm the oxidizing version. Lydia's the sparkle disco ball version. Both lead us to one album, and that is Taylor Swift's latest release. What is it? Her 12th?
This is her 12th album.
God, help us all when the 13th comes out.
Oh God, I didn't even think about that.
Bruh. Yeah. 12th album, The Life of a Showgirl.
Yes, this has been teased for a while now. People have been, trying to solve the mystery of what was going to be in this album. There were so many things of like finding clues in the songs and the lyrics on Spotify with like capital letters. People were like, oh, what does this door mean? Oh, what is this? Like, this unlocks the key to this, and this number means that she's going to drop it. It was so convoluted. It was so crazy. The Swifties were trying to solve the Da Vinci Code. The marketing has already been insane for this album. There's different vinyl variants. They kept Targets open later than usual so that people could go in and buy the pink champagne exclusive vinyl with 50 extra photo cards or some shit. There's also a movie, which is the music video for the lead single, The Fate of Ophelia, and some more behind the scenes footage of her making the album. The music video is not out on YouTube as of this recording, so we're not going to be talking about the music video in this video. But we might release some content about the music video later, so stay tuned for that. This album has her pairing up with producers Max Martin and Shellback, who worked on her album 1989 and her album Reputation. 1989 is my personal favorite Taylor Swift album. I just think it's absolute pop perfection. Every song on it, I think, is near perfect. Reputation was not for me.
Yeah.
I think you would agree.
I was similar. Also think 1989 was probably my favorite. Oh, what am I talking about? Whoa, that was crazy. Red.
Oh, okay.
Is my favorite album.
So this album, because she's working with these two producers that produce some of her highest selling pop records in her career, we were hoping that this was going to be kind of like a return to form. Like, she's been kind of experimenting with different genres, with other producers, other sounds, and like, I don't know, it hasn't been working out too well, like consistently, like with the sound of everything. And so going back to Max Martin and Shellback, everybody was like, oh, we are excited for a full-fledged pop record. We want some fun pop. We want stuff we can dance to. We want the showgirl aesthetic. Like, we want the showgirl, like, fun costumes, fun outfits. Like, and we got that with the visuals. The visuals are absolutely stunning. And I remember watching the Bejeweled music video and being like, wow, this is a really cool space for her to play in. This is actually really cool. I think it'd be cool if she centered an album around this. And then she did.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I was very excited to see if, like, how she would play in that space. What would this sound like? Like, what does a pop showgirl album sound like? The other thing that is interesting with this album is Taylor is in a very different space in her life now than she was when she made Midnights or even Tortured Poets, right? So Tortured Poets, she was sad. She and Maddie Healy had broken up in that relationship, even though it was like what, 3-4 months. Like it was not long.
You said months. I was like, weeks?
It was so short, and it destroyed her so much that she wrote like 32 songs about it. She is now fully engaged. She had been dating Travis Kelce for 2 years. They just got engaged. She is at the top of her game. Like, she had the highest selling tour of all time, highest selling tour movie of all time, has broken streaming records, like completely taken over the world.
Like, this is like her, I don't think there's anything else that she could ask for type things. Like, this is a woman who has everything. She's done everything. She's had everything. She's made her mark. And now all of this in a way was like leading up to her finding the one, right? Like, we were all on this journey with her since she was 15 or whenever, she started singing. And it's all just to find this person and figure out love and the complexities of it and go through heartbreaks and blah, blah, which is why her engagement feels so personal for so many people. So much of the association of Taylor Swift is with heartbreak, or it's either heartbreak or like hope in love, right? Obviously, because of the title, I think we all expected there to be some commentary on fame and all of that, which we've seen from her before. Not that I necessarily think it has always been done well by her, but whatever, more of that. But yeah, that was my biggest thing, where I was like, what now? Do we just get a bunch of songs about her talking about how amazing life with Travis Kelce is? And if so, is that enough?
And again, when you're the most famous person in the world and you've written so much about the haters trying to get to you, or people writing bad reviews of you, or people being generally mean to you in the music industry, like, now that you have everything and all the power,
yeah,
what else do you have to say?
What do you have to say for yourself? Self?
With all of that context in mind, let's dive into the life of a showgirl. Starting with track 1, which is also the lead single of the album. It is called The Fate of Ophelia.
Save my heart from the fate of Ophelia.
For those of you who did not read Shakespeare in high school, Ophelia is Hamlet's love interest, and he kind of treats her like shit. She's just constantly pining after him, and he does not return her affections at all because he's so obsessed with getting revenge on his uncle that she goes and drowns in a river.
Wait, hold on, Reed, before you go on, what's the next scene with Ophelia?
There's no more scenes with Ophelia.
Well, come on, I'm up for it.
No, that's all Shakespeare wrote.
Well, what happens to her?
She drowns.
Okay, cool.
Okay. To cut his throat in the church. Aye, and to that end, I'll anoint my sword with an unction.
There's an allusion to, like, in the album cover, it's her in the bathtub or whatever, and that's, I believe, an allusion to Ophelia drowning. She's trying to make a metaphor out of Travis. It's very clear that this is about Travis.
This is so about Travis.
It's a metaphor basically being like, Travis saved her from the fate of Ophelia, in that she had failed in love and relationships so many times, and she was slowly felt like she was dying inside.
Whatever is for me.
And she feels like Travis saved her from that fate. Pledge allegiance to your hands, your team, your vibes. Don't care where the hell you've been, because now you're mine.
That whole part, the line before that is, on the land, the sea, the sky, pledge allegiance to your hands. I don't know how to say this.
Say it. Just say it. This is the unfiltered thoughts.
I feel like the MAGA people are going to eat that up. I heard that, I was like, I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands.
My honor, I will try.
Give me my citizenship. I was like, I know it's about Travis, but because they are such an all-American couple in every way one could possibly be, I was like, okay.
I feel like we should put a pin in that, because things like political views and other things like that and people she associates with, they come up later in the album. So
Yeah.
so hold on. So hold
We'll
on.
circle
We'll
back.
get there.
Yeah.
But I would say that this is probably her most memorable song.
I actually kind of liked it. Me. It's
I don't
giving
think it's bad.
me. I'm like,
No, I don't think it's bad.
it was actually very Taylor. Like it felt very like the Taylor Swift that I enjoyed listening to growing up.
Yeah, I really liked how, because I was worried it was gonna be like too synthy pop because she already
Mhm.
did that with 1989, right? So I was really pleasantly surprised when this production was very stripped back in a way. Like you can hear
Yeah.
natural instruments in addition to the synths, and I found that very refreshing. It's something that we haven't really heard before from her, and so I appreciate that she was trying something new here. And yeah, it did feel like a very organically Taylor style song.
The production for most of the album is very good. It sounds very cohesive. It doesn't sound overdone in any way. Like for each song does have its own like character. It doesn't sound like she's experimenting and it's not working, which is nice because then she just sounds more authentically like herself, which is something I don't think that we've gotten in a pop version since probably 1989.
Yeah, I completely agree. The next song is Elizabeth Taylor.
So she's done this before. This is definitely not unique to this album. She does two things, and both of these will come up, I think, throughout our discussions. One is that she uses like random kind of words that like I don't necessarily think need to be there, but they're used in a way that kind of adds whimsy. I think that's her intention. Like chalet. Like,
Like when she
okay.
throws in like a vocab word.
Or like later
Just
on, yeah, there's like Onyx Sky or whatever. That's in another song. But yeah, here in this one, it's like that view of Portofino was on my mind when you called me at the plaza.
Like she's just
Then
name dropping a bunch of
me
restaurants.
yeah, and I'm like,
Yeah.
what does that even rhyme with? It works sometimes, and I think it worked again when she was younger.
For a while, I wrote with quill and ink. That was a phase I went through. Like I had a glass quill with like an ink jet.
It was Tumblr-y era, and it's like, okay, cool. It sounds like you're like trying to write poetry, and then like sing it, right? Like, cool.
Yeah.
But here nowadays, it just sometimes I'm like, what are you saying?
No, I agree with you. And I think, yeah, in this song it comes up. There's another song that I want to point out when it comes down the line that this also happens a lot in. But I feel like theme-wise, this song is very similar to Delicate.
Delicate is like a classic. That's like the only song off Reputation that I listen to.
Yeah, I do very much enjoy that song off of Reputation. The theme basically being her reputation is at an all-time low, and yet this guy is pining for her, still wants to be with her. But I think what makes this the worst version of the same concept is that in Reputation, her career was at an all-time low.
Yeah.
She had the Kanye videos had just come out. Nobody trusted her. Kim was calling her a snake.
Yeah.
A lot of her fans dropped off. Like
there was like active internet drama.
Her career was in trouble, genuinely. And here, it doesn't make as much sense because she is the biggest pop star, arguably the biggest pop star in the world. And she even says the line, "What could you possibly get for the girl who has everything and nothing all at once?"
Yeah.
So it doesn't really work.
I don't like the chorus here. What's the Elizabeth Taylor story? What did she do? She's an actress, right?
She's an actress, and she was in an on-again, off-again relationship with a fellow actor, Richard Burton. She was very glamorous.
Sure.
I don't get the Elizabeth Taylor reference
Yeah.
here because all she says is like, "Oh, if my man leaves me, I'll cry my eyes violet." Elizabeth Taylor, because Elizabeth Taylor had violet eyes, but it doesn't really make sense.
And that's what I mean. It's like poetry you'd write like growing up, like when you're a teenager, and be like, I'm a poet.
Yeah,
I have
it's
a
like, oh, I'm
notebook.
trying to seem artsy,
That, like,
and I'll throw in like an old Hollywood reference and
Exactly.
name drop some places in Portofino,
Exactly.
and maybe that'll make me seem cool. I don't know.
Lyrics wise, sometimes I'm just like, girl, get a grip. Get a grip like a little bit. Because
Man, she's not going to
What?
get a grip, but overall, I think it's pretty good. I also think this fits the showgirl aesthetic. I love the piano and the production. I like how the chorus and the production really like builds, even though the lyrics are a bit
Yes.
clunky.
Yes.
I would return to this one, I think.
Yeah.
I think this one is the one I like the best.
Oh, interesting.
I would say this is the one I like the best. Yeah, I would say
Okay.
that.
I think mine is maybe the fate of Ophelia. But I liked the next one too, which is Opheliate. That's wrong.
Opalite.
Now the sky is
Opalate.
Opalite.
I was looking at it. I was in the shower, and I was like, "We just had a song about Ophelia. Why is she like doing it again?"
Opalite. Opalite. So I think we're continuing a pretty good streak of songs
Yeah.
here. I was very surprised by the natural elements in this song as well, with like the guitars and all of that stuff and the drums. It kind of reminds me of Circles by Post Malone. They sound very similar. Like in the beginning.
I see what you mean.
Do you see what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
very
okay,
subtle,
yeah.
but I was like,
Yeah.
hang on.
Yeah.
This is very familiar.
I was very happy actually. I was like 3 songs in a row.
I'm 3 songs in a row and I'm not mad yet. I'm enjoying. She also has gone on and said that this song is about Travis. It was inspired by Travis. She said something about how opalite is basically a man-made opal, and opal is Travis's birthstone. And she was like, I think there's something very beautiful about like love being man-made.
I had written down the word opalite because I learned that it's actually a man-made opal. Like opal can be man-made just like diamonds. And so Travis's birthstone is an opal. So it's like that I've always fixated on that. I've always loved that stone. And I thought it was a kind of a cool metaphor that like it's a man-made opal and happiness can also be man-made too.
Damn. I
What?
did not know that.
That was something new that I learned in researching a Taylor Swift album, that opalite is just the man-made version of opal. So yeah,
Okay.
there's a fun fact for you.
Sure.
But this song's cute. Oh, there's this lyric in the beginning where she says, I had a bad habit of missing lovers past. My brother used to call it digging through the trash.
Eating
The
out
way
of
I
the trash.
gasped.
Eating out of the trash. Yeah, I was like,
Now eating out of the trash. My bad.
I was
My
like,
bad.
yo,
That's
you didn't
worse.
you didn't need to point taken.
Jeez.
Huh, okay,
Jeez.
got it.
Right.
But no, this is a good one. This is the one where she says sleepless in the onyx night, but now the sky is opalite. And even though I'm like,
Okay.
that would have done the rounds on Tumblr.
You're so right.
It would have had like a dark, stormy night for like the onyx night, and then like it'll be a GIF that turns into like a dreamy, cloudy, opalite sky.
I see the vision. Next, we have the song Father Figure.
I'll be your father figure.
This is when the album started to make me mad. It started at this song.
Like, we were doing so well.
This song, before the album came out, people figured out that George Michael had a writing credit on the song because she says, I will be your father figure, which is like... that song. But the song sounds nothing like that except for the one line.
Yeah.
It's just her flexing about how powerful she is in the music industry. That's basically what it is. It's one big flex, and it's kind of shown through through the lens of her taking in a young protege, and the protege kind of turning their back on her, and she's like, "Excuse me, do you know where you came from? Like, I'm your father figure." She says, and I quote, "I can make deals with the devil because my dick's bigger." And I'm like, "Excuse me? What?"
Which is, again, it's like, the song is not for me personally, but this is the thing where, like, in every song, she just adds a little something where we're like, why? Why did you do that? And in this song, it's that lyric. And I'm like, here's the thing with her. She needs to, like, to an extent, she needs to pick what it is that she is and, like, wants to be, and, like, what her persona is. Because in my head, she's not ever sitting around and drinking whiskey. The only time I could see her doing that is if she's, like, hanging out with Travis Kelce and his teammates, and it's like a dude shindig, and they're like, oh babe, we only have whiskey. Is that okay? You know?
Right. Like, she's
Like,
trying to make it seem like she's like, "Oh, I'm gonna pull up in the Jaguar. I'm gonna pour myself a glass of whiskey. My entire room is mahogany wood."
yeah, yeah. And I'm like, no, Taylor.
So sorry. I got a sequin stuck. No. Whoops.
Lydia's dealing with bigger issues.
Anyway, so back to what you were saying though about she needs to pick a persona, because back when she won for 1989, she won album of the year for 1989, and she was up against Kendrick Lamar's To Pimp a Butterfly, which we will never forget. Kendrick was robbed. But she got up on that stage and she did this whole speech about how people are going to take credit for your success. They're going to undercut your success and take credit for your fame and your accomplishments.
I want to say to all the young women out there, there are going to be people along the way who will try to undercut your success or take credit for your accomplishments or your fame. But if you just focus on the work and you don't let those people sidetrack you, someday when you get where you're going, you will know that it was you and the people who love you who put you there.
And this was all addressing Kanye, because Kanye at the time put out Life of Pablo. He had the lyric in Famous that said,
"Why I made that bitch famous."
So with that in mind, now she's flipping it all around and she's saying, "Oh, you should give me credit for your success. You're my protege. I did all this shit for you, and I can take it all away just as easily." That's what this whole song is. And you can argue that it's satire. You can argue that she's trying to like poke fun at what people say about her. It doesn't work as satire because she does have that power.
She does have that pull, and she does do this. There are examples of her beefing with these younger up and coming or artists that are, you know, stepping into their limelight, which we will address later, but like it goes beyond whatever happens in this album. Olivia Rodrigo is like what comes to mind for me immediately, where I'm like, this is a girl that's looked up to you her whole life, and you decided to
sue the absolute shit out of her. That's what you did.
Yeah. So I'm like, this whole image of you, in this drinking whiskey in like dark shades, mahogany lair, you know, some fur carpet rug situation, whatever. It's not a good look. It's not a good look, and it's not a good song.
Hi, everyone. This is Editing Lydia here. I wanted to point out a theory that people have been talking about online about the song Father Figure, and that the song could be about Scott Borchetta or Scooter Braun. For those of you who are not in the know, they were the previous owners of Taylor's Masters before she purchased it back. And while I do see the connection and why she would make a song like that, it just doesn't make sense at this point in time, because she already has her master's back. She is not the protege anymore. She is the father figure. And so while I can see the connection, for me and Sonika, like it just the connection kind of falls flat, and I still don't think the song is very good. But anyway, back to the video.
The next song is Eldest Daughter. And for those who are not in the Taylor Swift lore, every song on Taylor's albums that's the track number 5 is usually the emotional centerpiece of the album. And so with these songs, we always expect something to really hit hard.
Were you hit hard?
No, because there's nothing about being an eldest daughter in here.
Every eldest daughter was the first lamb to
This just is like throwing catchphrases and like memes and like trendy phrases at you to seem relatable.
It
And
sounded
it's so
like
cringe.
Oh my god, it's so cringe. It sounded like if like my older like coworkers or something came up to me and were like, "Hey girl, what's the tea? Oh my god, your report was so savage." Like that was the energy.
The chorus is I'm not a bad bitch and I'm not a savage. That's the way it starts.
And I was immediately like, I'm a savage.
classy, bougie, ratchet.
He also says like, oh, people are hurling all these like jokes and memes at me. She starts the song saying everyone's so punk on the internet.
That alone, I was like, I'm out.
What?
He's so fucking
What?
for real right now. You can't go. This is the thing. Pick something. You can't go from being like whimsical, oh, chateau, blah 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 blah, onyx, opalite, Elizabeth Taylor, old school, whatever, romantic stuff.
Yeah.
To then like everyone's punk. Every joke's just trolling and memes.
I'm not a bad bitch.
Yeah,
And this
I'm not a bad
savage.
Every hot take is as cold as ice. I've been dying just from trying to seem cool. Girl, stop. If this is you trying to seem cool, stop.
So
no.
I think the best illustration of that point is the lyric, every eldest daughter was like the first lamb to the slaughter, so we all dressed as wolves and we looked fire. What?
She looked
What
fire,
does that
but she's not a bad bitch. And this isn't savage.
But okay, low-key, if you sang White Horse with those lyrics, that would kind of be better than whatever the fuck this is. Like,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
not a bad bitch, and this isn't savage. I'm not the one.
It would be better, and it would somehow still be more. It would work better for her. This is giving like the same energy as like Shake It Off.
Yeah, but yeah, this one's a no.
Continuing on the stream of no's for me.
Track 6 is Ruin the Friendship.
There's some
backstory to this song because she released a bonus track. I think it was for the Red Taylor's version, whatever. She released a bonus track called Forever Winter, and it's about her getting back in touch with somebody that she knew from a while ago that like has a very tragic past and is like maybe going through some drug abuse issues, you know, maybe they're going through like having suicidal thoughts, that type of thing, and her trying to like help them out of that situation. This one, Ruin the Friendship, is kind of like a continuation of that story because you find out it's somebody that she knew from high school and the person ends up dying.
Yeah.
And it's kind of sad, but also it's not, because the whole premise is she's like, damn, I wish I made out with you in high school. Even though you had a girlfriend at the time.
Who I guess was her friend. I don't know. She was friends with both. Either way, ruining the friendship, she's regretting not ruining whatever friendship.
I don't know which. I mean, either way, she'd be ruining friendships. But she is saying, My advice is always ruin the friendship because you might regret it later. And I'm like, girl, no. This is not the message we should be sending to young, impressionable children. No, you should not do that. Especially, one, when the person had a girlfriend at the time, which you explicitly say. And two, you're gonna say, oh, I wish I kissed you
Because
at the
they're
fucking grave? Also, you're saying this at 35 years of age with a giant rock on your finger from another man. I would be so weirded out if I was Travis Kelce hearing this song. Like, I'd be like, who's this? Who? What?
Also, I'm like, Taylor, consent? Your smile miles wide, and it was not an invitation, should have kissed you anyway.
No.
No, he was just being nice.
Yeah. And it's so interesting how people have connected this with the other song, because the other song is it's actually good. It's actually very like sweet and endearing. The production's really beautiful and somber because she's reflecting on this relationship and, you know, trying to call this person and be like, hey, listen, I still care about you. Like, I just want you to know that I care. Even though you're being really self-destructive for yourself, I'm here for you. Like, that is a beautiful message for somebody who's, you know, somebody that you know that's struggling with addiction, suicidal thoughts, whatever have you. This just throws all of that sentiment out the fucking window.
It's like really sad, honestly. It's like borderline embarrassing. Every single like I was listening to this in the shower, and every few seconds I just kept turning around to like read the lyrics, and I was like, what am I listening to? In general, a 35-year-old woman singing, oh, but as the 50 Cent song played, don't make it awkward in second period. Like, it's just
talking about prom.
Yeah, it's just like this cognitive dissonance that the song has, that I as a listener had, where I was like, I know the person who's singing this, and what she's saying is so far removed from the time period we're living in, and it's not really like, I don't know, like it's not nostalgic either.
Also, what does this have to do with being a showgirl at all? After the first three songs, I asked that question a lot. Like, what does this have to do with the theme? What does this have to do with the showgirl aesthetic? What is dancey about this? What is showy about this? How do you perform something like this? You can't.
You can't. And also, again, it like annoys me because the messaging is so bad. And at this point, she does have a responsibility. It's like similar to like how I felt watching, maybe I'm just growing old. And I can like think with this clarity now. But it's like similar to like with The Summer I Turned Pretty. I was like, this is not good for like some of the messaging here is not good for younger audiences. And here, this is not a good message. I would not want a stadium full of impressionable 13-year-old girls to think, oh, I should just like go act on, you know, whatever instinct or feeling that I'm having, not worry about the consequences. Who cares if he has a girlfriend? You know, like shit like that, where I'm like,
no,
understand what you're doing. Yeah.
Yeah. Don't ruin the friendship. Don't listen to her.
No.
Don't.
No. If he has a girlfriend too.
Yeah.
Like,
don't even think about it.
It's time to get to the song that actually made me mad. This is the one that made me mad.
Made me mad. Honestly, it was really nice to wake up this morning and see that generally the internet had picked the correct side. And there is one very clear correct side here.
Yes. The song we are talking about is called Actually Romantic.
It's actually romantic.
Now, the lyrics of this song got leaked on Twitter a few days before the album came out. For those who got the vinyl packages, there's lyric books in there, and they took a picture of the lyrics and put it on the internet. And fans were very quick to figure out that this is a diss track about Charlie XCX. How do we know about this? Well,
First line. Forget
Yes.
that. The title, the song name. Charlie has a song called Everything is Romantic off of her hit, award-winning, genre-defining, world-taking overing album Brat. And Miss Father Figure over here couldn't deal with another woman having all of that.
Before we get into the specific lyrics, though, I do want to recap for those who have not listened to our Brat episode, because we do mention this in the Brat episode when it was just a theory. And that is in the song Sympathy is a Knife. She sings about how she feels very insecure around this one girl who's seemingly more successful than her. She says literally,
the whole song Sympathy is a Knife is about her. It's actually quite an emotional song. It's about her feeling insecure. It's about her comparing herself to other people. It's about anxiety. And I really actually, I remember relating to that song a lot. Comparison is the thief of joy. And yeah, like you said, Lydia, like it's, that one line is her, what did she say?
Don't wanna see a backstage of my boyfriend show.
fingers cross my back, I hope they break up quick. And that made it about Taylor because at the time, Charlie was dating and is now married to George Daniel, who is the drummer of the 1975, and Taylor Swift was dating the band's lead singer, Maddie Healy, at the time. So that's why they would both be at the same show with their boyfriends.
Yeah.
So Taylor made that connection and was like, okay, bet.
I remember thinking, I'm about to beat this bitch up.
Which, for no reason. For no reason.
It truly is giving such a tacky flavor of insecure that I just know Taylor Swift doesn't even realize it. Like, and that honestly makes it worse because that just means she's gotten to a level of fame where she's, number one, she's not self-aware, but number two, she's constantly scared of the next big thing or the next person coming and dethrone. It reminds me of a toxic work environment where you have people who are at the top and they know, everyone knows they're at the top. They know they're at the top. They've built their foundation for years. They get paid well, all of that stuff. But for some reason, they're fixated on bringing those below them even further down. And it's like, why are you doing this? You've made it. I'm not your competition.
Right. So she starts the song by saying, I heard you call me boring Barbie when the Cokes got you brave. High-fived my ex, and then you said you're glad he ghosted me. Wrote me a song saying it makes you sick to see my face. So she's not being subtle.
She's not being subtle, but she's also so clearly not understood what Sympathy is a Knife is about. She's taken that one line and run with it. But like you said, it goes on to say, I couldn't even be her if I tried. I'm opposite. I'm on the other side.
The sympathy is a knife because people are like, oh, Charlie, like, you still have a great career. You're still great. You're still a pop star. And she's like, no, but Taylor Swift is right there. Like, I'm never going to be her.
Yeah.
Ever. I have no doubts that if Brat did not sell well, Taylor would not have written this song.
100%. 100%.
Plain and simple. Like, you're quite literally kicking somebody while they're down.
Yeah.
Congratulations. You look like an asshole. And it also feeds into the father figure type of idea of who Taylor Swift is. It completely exemplifies it because here's somebody, an artist that you've invited on stage with you multiple times. She was an opening act for the Reputation tour. She also was a guest on the 1989 World Tour. She's an artist that Taylor has praised as recently as last year in tabloids, saying how great of an artist she is, and was dancing to her set at the Grammys. So you're telling me she went through all of last year and was praising Charlie, but was also writing this music behind her back. Do you know
Yeah.
how sick and twisted that is?
She's too old. She's too grown. She's too grown. She's too old.
They're both in their 30s. Like, grow up. There's
Yeah.
no beef. Charlie doesn't
Like,
even have beef with you.
no man has ever loved me like you do. You think I'm tacky, baby. Stop talking dirty to me. I'm like, I can assure you, Charlie XCX does not think about Taylor Swift. Charlie
No.
XCX, when she's in Italy sipping her Aperol spritzes, is not thinking about what Taylor Swift is doing.
So we're going to defend our girl. I'm sorry. It's just, call us biased, whatever. Come after us, Swifties. But there's clear evidence here.
And you know what? I will defend Taylor too. If she gives me a reason to. I will defend her up until 1989.
Yeah.
I will say
Sure.
that was good shit. No one can take away the power of Love Story. You know, like she's
a great song.
What she's doing now is her own doing.
Yeah. Moving on to the next song. It is called Wish List with the S's replaced with dollar signs.
I just want you.
The first thing that I wrote in my little notes here was boring.
I know she thought she cooked with that. She was like, just like Ty Dolla $ign.
The whole song is her kind of saying, oh, well, everybody else wants money and fame and cool clothes and fancy cars and partying on yachts, but like not me. I want to have a family and a house at the end of a cul-de-sac and some kids and okay, whatever. That's fine. But like clearly you also like money.
Also, you already have all of those other things, which is why you can go aim to have the simple joys in life, because you got everything. You just said in Father Figure, you got your Jaguar and
you got the Jaguar, you got the fancy whiskey, you got the fucking mahogany desk. You got everything you wanted. You have all of those things. Of course, you're not like, I would trade that for, what did she say? I'd trade that for like some honesty or trust, or I think it's trust. This song just doesn't work for somebody like Taylor Swift.
Boss up, settle down, got a wish list. So who's bossing up? The man? Like, who has to boss up here? Both have bossed up.
Yeah, I don't care. For a woman who says, I just want, some kids and a basketball hoop in my backyard, when you're making your fans buy 6 different variants of your album and making them buy tickets to a movie. Sorry.
That part. Oh my God. They want that spring break that was fucking lit. You're 35.
You're 35. Oh, it's going to come across so dated. All of these little bits that she puts in of trendy words, like mentioning memes and saying, oh, it was lit, or like our outfits looked fire. Like, it's just going to make this album seem so dated. And I think what made her songwriting really good was that it was timeless.
Yeah.
Like, you can listen to Fearless now and you can listen to Fearless in 2002 and it would still be relatable.
Oh my God. This is like clickbait music.
Right. The next song is another one that I really hate. It's called Wood.
Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see his love was the key.
I think when the initial track list came out, people were like, oh, tee haha, she wrote a song about a penis, and it turns out she did. This song is about Travis Kelce's penis.
Yeah, I'm gonna say something, and she's gonna be pissed if she... Taylor Swift, if you're listening to Pop Rocks and Tea...
Hi, Taylor. I mean, if we talk enough shit, she might. So,
true. So true. Oh my God, and then we'll get a song about us. Wait.
Please.
Wait.
Please.
Oh my gosh. This song was giving me, I want to be Sabrina Carpenter so bad.
Yeah, with all the innuendo.
Like, poorly done. Like, Sabrina has a gift with it. Taylor's like, Daisy's bare naked. I was like, is she okay?
She's saying, Redwood tree, it ain't hard to see his love was the key that opened my thighs. Ew. I don't need to know about your boyfriend's dick.
Need to catch the bouquet. I know a hard rock is on the way. No.
We didn't ask for this information at all, and we received it anyway. And I'm just like, why? Why would you do this? It's not funny. It's not catchy. It sounds like a Jackson 5 ripoff.
I didn't get this line where she goes, he matized me.
Like dickmatized.
Dickmatized.
Which, again, the trendy speak. Why?
This is
so
rough.
bad.
And again, and because I say Sabrina because yes, part of it is lyrics, but also it's delivered, like the production in this is very sweet, girly, cutesy, but it doesn't work because with Sabrina, it's playful and funny and satirical. But here I know Taylor Swift's being dead serious. Like even if we take if you take Bedchem, which I suppose is like factual, right? And like not super like funny per se.
About a real person.
Yeah. About a real person. It doesn't feel cringy, but it also doesn't feel vulgar. Like something about Taylor Swift singing like this feels vulgar. Like if I was hanging out with Sabrina and we were just shooting the shit, like I can imagine her making jokes like that. If I'm shooting the shit with Taylor Swift and she's like, my God, his dick is like a redwood tree, I'd be like, are you okay?
No. I don't like it. I'm never
No.
listening to this again. The next song, are you trying to remember what it sounds like? Yeah, because it's bad. The next song is called Cancelled in all caps with an exclamation point. This song is boring. It sounds like a rejected Reputation bonus track. And I think that this song, it could be about a couple of different people because the whole premise is she's saying like, all my friends are canceled.
I was like, who's Taylor Swift friends with? Selena Gomez. Who else?
Blake Lively and Brittany Mahomes. So yeah, remember that MAGA thing we mentioned earlier?
Mama, not this.
Yeah. But she likes all of her friends canceled. She's okay with it.
It's her preferred flavor of friendship.
I guess this is just supposed to be like a clapback to the haters about who she associates with. There's nothing relatable about this for people. Like, if anything, I see this song being like in a trailer for like a thriller movie starring like two very prominent actresses, or a trailer for the new season of The Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
I see that.
Watch it happen. Watch it happen.
I see that.
Watch me
I see that. Look at you, Miss Clairvoyant.
I'm Miss Cleo. I can see the future, I guess.
Okay.
That is my prediction. That's the only way this song works. Cause like I don't see people playing this in their free time.
In the club.
Who can relate to this other than Taylor Swift?
Again, like I like my whiskey sour, poison, thorny flowers. Welcome to my underworld where it gets quite dark. Well, yes, it's the underworld.
Once again, it just sounds like a Reputation reject, and I don't care. The next song is called Honey.
Honey, summertime spreads, pink skies.
This one was fine.
Okay. I had higher hopes for it.
It says something about like, oh, well, I only heard the term sweetheart when a girl was trying to tell me to get away from her boyfriend.
Yeah.
And people only used to call me honey when they were trying to hit on me, or they said my skirt was too tight or whatever. But now when I hear, when she hears her partner call her honey, it's very sweet and endearing. And I think it's a good idea for a song, but I think it's executed very poorly.
I feel like the timing of it is off because so much of what she's talking about in this song made me think of her documentary, Miss Americana. Yeah. And like there's that whole thing where it's like, Taylor Swift is America's sweetheart, yada yada yada, which I'm like, it's a good thing, but I can also understand the passive aggressiveness that she's referring to. And I know in that documentary, she talked about her issues with her body image and all of that stuff. So I understood it and like the messaging. It just felt, it would make sense if this song came out right after that documentary came out. And it's been quite a few years. Oh my God, it's been like 5 years or something since then. So again, a lack of refinement, a lack of growth, a lack of evolution. We're still kind of stuck in that same place that I guess she was in all those years ago.
Yeah. I also like, once again, the production in the first three songs I think was really interesting, and it just all kind of fizzled out. This production is not interesting at all, even though it kind of is reminiscent of Opalite. Like I don't know, I think they have very similar tempos and very similar laid back kind of feels, and they're both very romantic songs. I wish there was like a sweeping moment, like a sweeping kind of musical moment where she's like, oh, like when he calls me honey, like, and then there's like an explosion of like strings or horns.
Like when, like Love Story, when she goes, marry me, Juliet, where it's like you feel it, like you have to like sing it out loud. Yeah.
But no, she like just kind of goes down an octave in her voice when she says that. And I'm like, oh, this is very anticlimactic and not exciting. So I don't know. I feel like we could have gotten a little more creative with this.
For sure.
And we are finally at the last song, which is the title track, The Life of a Showgirl, featuring Sabrina Carpenter.
You don't know the life of a showgirl.
How did it take us 12 songs to get to the showgirl part?
And I really did not like this song at all.
No, me neither.
At all. Like, I actually think this was my least favorite of them all. Like, at least everything else, it was like weird or like off or like annoying. This was nothing.
So the story of it, she's kind of doing like the folklore thing where she talks about a fictional character and creates a fictional character. Like there's this showgirl named Kitty.
Yeah.
Who's
made
famous
her money being pretty and witty. Those are the
making
lyrics.
money in the city. Lyricist of our generation. But yeah, she goes to visit this showgirl and she's like, I want to be just like you. But the showgirl's like, nah, you're not prepared for this life. It's not for you. Like, be careful what you wish for. And then Sabrina comes in and kind of does a similar thing, but talking about a different character. And honestly, like Sabrina kind of eats Taylor up on her own song. Like this sounded like Sabrina's song when she was on it rather than a Taylor song. Towards the end of the song, it flips back to Taylor and she says, oh, well, I took that showgirl's advice. And then eventually, you know, I became the showgirl. And now I like have been through all the scars and the turmoil and all that stuff. And like, now I'm on top. And it just shows, I think it's a great metaphor for where she is at. Like, yeah, she's been through a lot. Yeah, you know, people might have told her, oh, you don't want to be in show business. This is not for you. But she made her way to the top. And she says, all the headshots on the walls of the dance hall are of the bitches who wish I'd hurry up and die. But I'm immortal now, baby dolls. I couldn't if I tried. And there's the thesis statement. It doesn't matter what she does. Yeah. She will always be Taylor Swift. You cannot come for her.
Yeah.
And she is untouchable.
I think leading up to this point, right? It's like she knew what she was working towards. And you see it in the music. It sounded so, obviously you go back to her older stuff. It sounds so much more genuine, so much more heartfelt, so much more authentic. And then she hits a point in her career. I actually think Midnights is probably when she hits this point and she realizes, oh, I've made it. Like I've gotten everything that I wanted to get, except for probably a man, right? A life partner.
Right.
But
she has that.
She hits the fame quotient, and then she's still kind of like dragging that out with Tortured Poets Department. I was thinking about this. She announced that album, right? After she won a Grammy for Midnights.
My brand new album comes out April 19th. It's called The Tortured Poets Department.
I was like, and of course it fit in with all of her Easter eggs and blah, 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 blah. But I was like, how cocky to be so confident that you are going to win that award and you will be able to announce your new album. Like,
yeah,
that's why I'm like, she knew. And then I think that Tortured Poets was her worst work till date. You know, the true Swifties who were like, oh, but you should listen to this song off Tortured Poets. Like, this one's really good. And like, I know it is really long, but like, there are a few good ones. And I was like, it's not my cup of tea. I'm happy for you guys. But she was still pulling out the heartbreak, sadness, whatever element that she still had going for her. And now she doesn't have that going for her either. And it feels like she's just grasping onto whatever she can. She's like, I'm settled. I'm actually at peace. There's nothing more I think that she could ask for. Or at least she doesn't know what to ask for next. So she's going back and taking digs at Charlie XCX. She's going back to high school. And I think that's also why everything is so clickbait adjacent, trendy, whatever, because she's like, it's almost like she doesn't know who she is anymore. All the factors of her life that used to define her no longer do.
Yeah. And to continue with that, the whole concept is the life of a showgirl, right? We're getting a look behind the curtain on who the showgirl is, right? She's performed in the biggest stadiums around the world. She is the biggest star in the world. Like, what does she have to say about what it's like being the biggest star in the world? And she's basically just saying, everything's great for me. Everything's fucking great. I have the man of my dreams. I have the biggest dick in the music industry. I call all the shots. Anybody who doesn't fall in line with me can just move aside. If you're saying things about me in your songs, prepare for me to retaliate. In my mind, I thought that we were going to get something that was more of a look at the struggles that she's had to go through that maybe she hasn't talked about before. Or, you know, maybe give us a story, like maybe give us like a, like, you know how, what's it called? Green Day, they did a whole concept album with American Idiot of like, they created a character of like Jesus of Suburbia and like, you know, his whole journey. You know, I thought that we were going to get a character and follow this character that was also posing as a, you know, placeholder for Taylor herself.
Yeah.
And it would show us the glamorous side of being the showgirl and also the not so glamorous side. That's not what this is. It's just I'm so great. Everything's great. Everything worked out for me. And I can do whatever I want. None of these songs are fun.
Imagine she's like in a showgirl outfit and she's like, I should have ruined the friendship. What? Something I've kind of been noticing a little bit. I mean, the example I can think of off the top of my head is Sabrina. They need to take more time between albums. Tortured Poets came out. I had recently moved, so a year and a half ago. That's really not that long ago. And to think that a year and a half ago, she had just broken up with Maddie Healy or whatever, you know, it was around that time. You can't expect to have a cohesive, good, reflective album if you're not literally giving yourself time to process. And I don't know how long it takes to write an album on average, but I'm guessing at the very least 6 months, right? Probably a year. So
Cardi B just took 7 to put out her second album.
Exactly. Like it's just, I don't know if it's like because of the way like social media has changed music and how quickly things are, you know, recycled through or like, you know, whatever, just getting old and then there's something new that's trending or whatever. But an artist like Taylor Swift does not need a trending song. Like whatever she puts out, whenever she puts out, will end up being a trending song. So like, I hope this is not something that we continue to see across, you know, the music industry, where these artists that are so iconic just pushing out stuff for the sake of pushing it out.
I hope that this kind of gets some Swifties to wake up a little bit and be like, hey, wait a minute. I don't want this. I don't like this. Can we
Definitely
put
not going to. But
I saw somebody in a reel say, if you're listening to this album with your ears, you'll be happy. If you listen to this album with your brain, you won't.
Yeah, that's very true. I do think overall it's a listenable album. Like I could go back to the first 3 songs definitely, and I don't know, I can't remember the rest. But you know, like fine. It wasn't like a horrifying album from start to finish, you know? But
it doesn't feel like we got the life of the Showgirl. We got the life of how great it is to be Taylor Swift.
Yeah.
Yeah, so those are our thoughts. Those are our thoughts and feelings.
Swifty,
thank you for sticking
if you're gonna come after us, please do. Make sure you like and subscribe and comment all of your thoughts. Just multiple comments. Keep going.
Yeah, that'd be great.
We're on Spotify. We're on Apple. We're on Google Podcasts. We're on Amazon Music. We're on YouTube. Just go comment everywhere. Subscribe everywhere.
Spam us.
Share it everywhere.
We also have an Instagram.
We do.
At Pop Rocks and Teapot.
So
please.
Totally.
Please.
Just keep sending our reels, you know, through the DMs. Spam your friends. Get the army involved.
Yeah. Yeah. We would love it.
We want to hear your thoughts.
Thank you for listening to us this far. We hope you enjoyed this lovely review. And until next time, get some Pop Rocks, drink some tea, and go stream Brat by Charlie XCX.
Who the fuck are you? I'm a brat when I'm bumping that.
Incredibly done, Lydia. 10 on 10. No notes.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Yeah. Bye.
Bye.
We're never going to do it at the same time.
It's okay. That was pretty good. That was pretty good.